Hey, what's up everyone? War Brothers Collectibles here. Today I'm doing a new kind of video, something I've never really done before, so this is all brand new for me. So I'm just going to see how it goes. And if you guys like it, I plan to do more of them. So let's just go for it and see how this goes. Today I want to talk about the 2012 horror film by Rob Zombie, The Lords of Salem, which Scream magazine rated 5 stars out of 5, saying it was the best horror film of that year. Now, I saw this film when it first came out, and I've seen it many times since over the years. I've recently revisited the film, watched it twice in 1 week to try and. I've not seen it for many years, so I just wanted to give it another rewatch. And I've got to say, I do like this film. Is it Rob Zombie's best film? Probably not, but I think it's certainly up there in his library of films. I've got to say, I do like Rob Zombie's films. I know a lot of people, they're hit and miss for many people because it's very sort of an extreme style that he goes for. Now, I'm a big fan of the Halloween series, and I do actually like the two Halloween movies that he did in 2007 and 2009. Now, I do think, obviously, with the Halloween films, he was tied to Malik Akkad and producers at Dimension Films that you were making a Halloween film, so he had to stick to their ideas and what they wanted. He wasn't allowed to go free range and do whatever he wanted. He was little bit more on Halloween 2 because that was a sequel to his film, not a remake of the original anymore. So, but with the Lords of Salem, I feel like he was given free range, could do whatever he wanted, go as crazy as he wanted, and not have the restrictions of a major studio pushing him and pulling him in different directions. And he could basically make the film that he wanted. Um, so it was on. I've just read recently that he wanted to make the film set in the 1970s, but due to the budget, he had to shoot it in modern day. He had no other choice because how else was he meant to get like 1970s cars in a street scene? There was no way of doing that on his budget, so he was restricted to the budget. And I do believe the novelization that he wrote of this film is based on his original first draft of the screenplay. So I have not read that yet, but I believe that goes even more crazy and into a lot more detail than the film's budget allowed. So the basic plot of this film, if you've not seen it, is basically it's set in Salem, Massachusetts, and a disc jockey called Heidi Hawthorne, played by his wife Sherry Moon Zombie, runs a local like rock radio station, and she's gets this package delivered to the studio, and it's this record from someone called the Lords, and they dub it the Lords of Salem. And when she plays it, it like makes her ill, gives her visions, really messes with her head, and it really goes off the deep end. It really trips out, goes really strange when this music plays, and it seems to affect most of the women in Salem. And it's linked to the Salem witch trials in the 1700s, when a witch hunter called Jonathan Hawthorne was hunting these last real witches of Salem and Satan worshippers. And the last witch that was executed, Margaret Morgan, placed a curse on all the women of Salem, and she was going to use the Hawthorne bloodline to like seek her last revenge or something like that. Not giving away too much because there's so much more to the story, and it is so bizarre. It's really strange. There's a lot of dream sequences. It's just not for everybody, I don't think, because it's not really that much of a coherent storyline. It's quite hard to follow in places. I don't think you can just throw it on with a group of friends and not pay attention to it because a lot of you will be confused. But I do really like the film. I like the style. I like something that I can relate to. Like, it's going to sound strange, but I like seeing, characters just their daily routine. So they wake up, they have breakfast, they get ready for work, they walk the dog. I just like that sort of normal feeling to it, and then all shit hits the fan and it goes absolutely crazy. And I just like the style of those Rob Zombie films. They are very psychedelic. They have crazy characters, but they have good visuals, and so they always seem to have like that rock kind of heavy metal style to the films, where it be the hairstyles, the costumes, setting, the decor of, say, Heidi's apartment is very heavy metal and rock ish. Um, so all Rob Zombie's films kind of carry that same sort of style. Um, I think Sherry Moon Zombie, this is her best work. I think she does a really good job here. She's playing as I say, a disc jockey for this radio station, but she's also a recovering drug addict. And then when this record starts playing from the Lords, you do really feel for this character as she goes on a downward spiral and starts taking the drugs again. And you're like, is it the drugs that are affecting her? Is it this record? Um, Things like that. She does a really good job here, and the supporting cast of characters, the main like sort of museum like investigator who kind of has an idea of what's going on. I don't know the name of the actor, but he plays a character called Francis Matthias. I really like that character. Probably like kind of the Dr. Loomis character of this film. Like he's kind of knows what's going on and he tries to help. And things don't turn out that great for him. The three modern day witches that are sort of manipulating the whole thing, I think they do a really good job. They are really sinister. There's a really great scene where they're just having a conversation with Francis Matthias, and it starts out all casual and nice conversation over a cup of tea, and then all of a sudden it just goes dead serious, and it just completely turns, and it's such a great suspenseful scene. Um, that, as I say, doesn't work out too well for that character, but the three main witches in the film, the modern day witches, do such a great job. They're almost, you'll love to hate them because they're just manipulating the whole thing and basically getting the spirit of Margaret Morgan back to seek her revenge on the women of Salem through Heidi. Um, so, as I say, it's a very strange, bizarre film, but I do really like it a lot. It's only 90 minutes, so you can throw it on one night. And it's a very quick watch. It's not like you're watching it all night. It flies over. It's very fast paced. It kind of reminds me of The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, because the way it's mainly set in a hotel, well, not a hotel environment, her apartment, so hotel-ish. There's a lot of hallways, a lot of um, apartment rooms, corridors, and it's set over 1 week. Like all the events take place in 1 week, and you get like the days announced on the screen, like Monday, a little section, and Tuesday, and then it pans out throughout the week all the way through. So the whole film basically takes place in 1 week. It's not for everybody. There is some disturbing scenes, some very disturbing scenes. Um, if you're squeamish at all, it's not for the faint-hearted, certainly, but that goes for every Rob Zombie film. But I just do think that he was able to go completely nuts with the story, special effects, which I do believe there's no digital effects in the film. They're all practical. And that's what I like to see, like practical effects on screen. They're not done in a computer. They're actually there through makeup, puppeteering, animatronics, or whatever it may be. I like to see that present on the screen. Is it his best work? Probably not, but it's one of his better films. I do think The Devil's Rejects, which is a sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses, is probably his best film to date. I've not seen the film he did on the Munsters or that Three to Hell or something, the third sequel, the the second sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses. I've not seen that one. Is it Three in Hell or something like that? I've not seen that. But the Lords of Salem, about witchcraft, really good film. If you've not seen it, I think it's definitely worth checking out. I'd probably call it underrated. It goes pretty much underneath the radar. Not a lot of people, unless you're a big Rob Zombie fan, know about this film. But I do think it's definitely worth watching. Um, as far as Rob Zombie films go, it's probably one of the best, but not his best. I still think Devil's Rejects has that edge, but also his Halloween films as well. I know a lot of people don't like them because they're Halloween fans, not Rob Zombie fans, but they are good films. I don't care what anybody says. I do like Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 for their own, in their own right. I like them for what they are. Maybe not part of the Halloween franchise, but I do like them for what they are. So I'm sorry that this video is a bit choppy. It's completely unscripted. I'm just reading off some notes that I have next to me. Just wanted to share my thoughts on this film that I've watched again recently that I do really enjoy. If you don't like this video, please tell me on where I can improve. It's completely unscripted. I am working on getting better on being in front of the camera or on a microphone. If you do like this video and want to see more, please definitely give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to post a link in the description below to my shop. We have so many items for sale in the store right now. So please definitely check that out. And please like and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for more videos on collectibles, toys, things we have for sale, and hopefully more of these movie videos. So I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. And thanks for listening. And I'll catch you guys later in another video.